Assalamualaikum. My name is Sharifah Naatira binti Said Muhammad Azharuddin and my ID number is SIB23110096.
So now, this is our introduction. The war between Hamas and Israel in 2023 has had significant impact on the economy, stock market globally due to boycott related to the war. Our main focus is to present and analyze large volume of data in a clear, manageable and insightful manner the borrower war conflict by the war. Specifically, impact of boycott were the borrower to the Nestle economy and stock market. So, this is our objective. We are focusing on two specific goals that will show the frequency of Nestle company in the US across various sectors as outlined in the frequency table and the impact of the war to Nestle company. The first step in the analysis is to determine and select any sector of Nestle company involved and identify the number of companies within each industry under that sector and compare companies that are top gainer, most active and top loser. By analyzing the available data, we can determine whether the Nestle primary focus in the US which is on healthcare, financial service and technology, with smaller involvement in sectors like utility and communication service. Second, by obtaining two sets of daily stock price for 50 consecutive days from before the war and during the war, we may compare the consistency of the two quantitative data sets, which is the daily stock market price of Nestle company at US.
Hi, my name is Nurmarisa Maisara binti Muhammad Yazid and my ID number is SIB2400N38. So I will conduct you in this station. So look at the table. The table shows the frequency of Nestle company at US in a different sector that researched by us based on Yahoo Finance website and through of the official portal of Nestle company. The sector of consisting of different business that Nestle do that provide goods and services to their customer. Among selected sector are in technology, financial services, healthcare, consumer silicon, industrial communication services, consumer defensive energy, real estate, basic material and utilities. So Nestle operates in a wide range of sectors with the most substantial involvement in healthcare and financial services. The total number of Nestle companies in the US is 5,696, spanning 11 sectors and the 145 different industries at US. So now we move to the bar graph and the pie chart. Okay, the top gainers is healthcare sector with 1,200 companies, which is 21% of the total, which comprise 11 different industries. Most active is with 260 companies in the basic material sector at 5%, which likely deal with raw material used in production in basic material sector. And the top losers is in utilities company with 109 companies at 2%. This insight show that Nestle's primary focus in the US is on healthcare, financial service and technology, with smaller involvement in sectors like utilities and communication service. So this is show diversification reflects Nestle's extensive footprint across different economic areas with a focus. So now we move to the group frequency table that shows the frequency distribution of Nestle's stock prices before the war. We can see the range of stock prices between $102.19 and $117.89, indicating a moderate variation in stock prices before the war. Class width is 3, allowing for a detailed grouping of the stock prices across 5 different intervals. Frequency distribution is the most frequent stock price. Range is $105.90 to $108.89 with 21 occurrences, suggesting that the majority of stock prices fell within this range. The frequent stock price range is $114.19 to $117.89 with only 3 occurrences, indicating that fewer stocks were priced at the higher and overall trend. Most of the stock prices fell between $102.90 and $111.89, demonstrating that the stock prices clustered around the lower and mid-range value rather than the higher one. This data reflects that the stock price were more concentrated in the mid-range value before the war, with fewer instances of higher price stocks. According to the diagram histogram that used to check the shape for the data distribution, frequency curve that used to estimate of the cumulative distribution of the closing price for the stock price and prepared from a sample of the data and object graph to estimate how many numbers lie below or above a particular variable or value in the data. While regarding the frequency distribution of Nestle's stock price during the war, we can see the stock price range between $98 and 92 cents and $102 and 91 cents, indicating moderate variation in the stock price during the war. Fluctuate in roughly at 2.51, which is 3, allowing for detailed grouping of stock prices across 5 different time intervals. Frequency distribution is the most frequent stock price range of $90 and 92 cents to $93 and 91 cents, with 16 occurrences, indicating that the majority of stock prices fall within this range. Overall trend, most of the stock prices, almost 42 out of 50, were unstable, which rose at $19.91 to $99.92, but declined on 13 frequency and decreased at $93.92 on 2 frequency and again decreased. Shows that stock prices are unstable and experience gains and losses. This data illustrates that the stock price was better before the war due to the consumer boycott, and Nestle needs to do something to overcome this incident.
So this is our data analysis. So for the mean, we get the mean by using that formula. So before the war, we get 109.54, and during the war, 95.24. So the average amount of stock price for Nestle company before the war is 109.54, and during the war is 95.24. So the next one is mode. We also get the mode by using that formula. So the mode before the war is 107.28, and during the war is 93.71. The majority amount of stock price for Nestle company before the war is 107.28, and during the war is 93.71. So now for the median. The first one, you need to find the location of median. And then after you find the location, the median, you can using that formula to get median. So the median we get before the war is 108.19. And after the war, we get 95.14. So 50% of the stock price from Nestle company is less than 108.19, and another 50% the stock price from Nestle company is more than 100.19. And 100% of the stock price from Nestle company is less than 95.14, and another 50% the stock price from Nestle company is more than 95.14. So this is the data that we got from quartile 3 by using that formula. So before the war, we got 111.71, and during the war, we got 97.97. The stock price from Nestle company before the war in 75% of 50 selected data is less than 111.71, and another 25% of them is more than 111.71. The stock price from Nestle company during the war in 75% of 50 selected data is less than 97.97, and another 25% of them is more than 97.97. So this is our distribution of skewness. Before the war, we got mean 109.56 and median 108.19, and for mode 107.28. Based on the mean, mode, and median calculated, the distribution was positively skewed as above diagram, where our mean 109.56 is greater than mode 107.28. So, for during the war, the mean we got 95.24. For median, we got 95.14, and for the mode, we got 97.71. Based on the mean, mode, and median calculated, the distribution was positively skewed as above diagram, where our mean 95.24 is greater than mode 93.71. So this is the data for standard deviation that we got by using that formula. So before the war, we got 3.22, and during the war we got 3.02. The standard deviation for the closing stock price before the war is very variable because the standard deviation is 3.22, and the standard deviation for the closing stock price during the war is variable because the standard deviation is 3.02. So this is the data that we get for quarter 1 by using that formula. So before the war, we got 106.86, and during the war, we got 92.75. The stock price from Nestle company before the war in 25% of 50 selected data is less than 106.86, and another 75% of them is more than 106.86. The stock price for Nestle company during the war in 25% of 50 selected data is less than 92.75, and another 75% of them is more than 92.75. So this is the data that we got for quarter 3 by using the formula given. Before the war, we got 111.71, and during for the coefficient of variation for data analysis, we got by using that formula. So before the war, we got 2.93%, and during the war, we got 3.17%. The coefficient of variation after the war is 3.17%, is higher than before the war, 2.93%, showing that the data became slightly more variable or dispersed after the war. Since coefficient of variation after the war 3.17% is greater coefficient of variation before the war 2.93%, this means there is more variability after the war compared to before the war.
So we move to the conclusion, which is for the qualitative data, the top gainers is healthcare sector. Most active is basic material, and the top losses is in utilities company. Nestle operates in a wide range of sectors, with the most substantial involvement in healthcare and financial services. The total number of Nestle companies in the US is 5,696, spanning 11 sectors and 145 industries. While for the quantitative data, before this war, the CB is 2.93%, indicating relatively low variability in stock prices in relation to the mean value, while during the war, the CB increased to 3.17%. With the rise in the coefficient of variation, Nestle financial performance become more unpredictable, which likely contribute to the overall negative sentiment among both consumer and investor. In summary of Nestle financial situation in the US is decrease in Nestle stock price mean fell significantly during the conflict due to consumer boycotts and reduced confidence in the brand.
So this is our recommendation. Due to the customer boycott during the Israel-Hamas conflict, Nestle has faced significant challenges, particularly among consumers who support the Palestinian cause. The perception that Nestle supports Israel has led to a loss of trust and loyalty, and to recover from this, Nestle needs to implement strategies that can restore consumer confidence and stabilize its market performance. The war has impacted both stock distribution and US share price, and Nestle cannot afford to sit idle and accept this loss, as it could lead to severe financial damage. The first one, to regain the trust of customers, Nestle should start by repairing its public image. The company should issue a clear statement affirming its neutrality in the conflict and emphasizing its commitment to humanitarian and business goals, demonstrating a stand that supports peace and justice can help rebuild trust, as seen with other companies. A clear explanation on social media or in the news, clarifying a neutral position, can be more acceptable to the public than appearing to side with any specific party in the conflict. Additionally, Nestle could strengthen its commitment to humanitarian causes by supporting its initiative and organization focused on conflict resolution by actively contributing to humanitarian aid efforts such as providing donation or food aid to the Palestinian people. Nestle could show its dedication to peace and human welfare. Lastly, Nestle should consider diversifying its revenue stream by expanding into new markets and offering new product or service. This strategy can help attract a broader customer base and mitigate financial loss if certain revenue sources are impacted. By diversifying, Nestle can safeguard its financial health while working to rebuild customers.